Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing the review, my impressions, my opinions on the Punch Audio Portazo. What do I think of this? Believe it or not, the Martillo, it was awesome. You know, it had its flaws. It's obviously not perfect. It was an awesome kind of bass headish in-ear. And it's much more expensive than this one. And it has some really nice bass to it. A strong, powerful bass. Now, here comes the Portazo. This one is a bit cheaper. This one has one dynamic and two planar magnetics in it. So it is a hybrid, technically. And surprisingly enough, those do an excellent job, especially when we're talking about treble-wise. And I'm going to tell you why I like this one better than the more expensive brother of this one. This one has very good speed in the bass. The lower end in this, and let's not forget, it is just gorgeous. This emerald green right here. I love primary colors. I'm not going to go over the accessories. You know that it's a modular cable, obviously. I will go over the specs. You get these nice smoke tips. You get them in small, medium, large. You also get foam tips in small, medium, large. You get a balanced 4.4 and a 3.5. You get this nice cable, which is on par with the other cable from the other one. I think maybe just a little bit less thicker. The shells, same thing, resin, really, really nice. I think I like this one better because it's just got that really nice shiny green to it. Whereas the other one had the red, and you really had to put it in the light to see the nice. It has like cracks, and the cracks have like this shiny bluish material going through it, like veins of something. Really pretty as well, depending on the light that you look in. This one you can just 100% notice. It says Punch Audio right on it too. Very comfortable, very good isolation. Get that out of the way. Here, one dynamic, two planar magnetics. You have 10 ohms. You have a sensitivity of 102 decibels, 20 to 35 kilohertz. You have 0.78 millimeter 2-pin connector. The cable length is 122 centimeters. And like I said, it's modular. So put that right off to the side. So all right, good comfort. It's got that nice medical grade resin. Very good isolation with the stock tips, especially if you use the foams. If you like foams, I don't. But anyway, the tips that come with it, decent enough. Obviously, a lot of people aren't going to like them. Everybody has their own preference for tips. The cable, more than enough. Don't need a upgrade at the moment with it. But let's get into what I was saying. So bass on this is different. We could just do a comparison side by side, since I've already done the unboxing for the other one. So you can see the cable is a bit thicker in some places with this other one. Like I said, it is still a beautiful in-ear, and there are these veins, which depending on if the light hits it, you can actually see the nice veins, which, sorry, hit the camera. I just had that. About 1,000 adapters right there. So I don't know if this is going to help, but there's some nice veins of blue in there. It looks black on here, but they are blue. The UV is not really helping with this one. Very similar in shape and size, obviously. They're both bass centered. Not to say that they don't do good in vocals and everything. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull this off, and then we'll pull this one off. Now, I know the Martillo came with like a bunch of different tips. Much more tips like smoke and those ones that are on it right now. So let's get a look at the difference in the nozzles. There is a big difference here. You can see that the new one has a much smaller nozzle, and it sticks out a lot more. So the shells aren't exactly the same. And looking at it, I think that you just can tell by looking at this that the Portazo is obviously much smaller, where this is a much larger size shell with a much longer nozzle. I think generally, I think that the new one, the Portazo, is going to fit most ears much better because the other one was kind of chunkier and it had the shorter nozzle. I think this longer nozzle is a little bit smaller body, although it does kind of look odd how the nozzle just sticks out like that. I think it's going to fit a lot of people's ears much better. I found it really comfortable, and I didn't have a problem with this one at all. But this one is just perfection, the size and everything. I think smaller ears, it might be like the limit for smaller ears, but it should be like fairly comfortable for 99% of everybody out there. So getting into it, we were talking about the bass. That's where, most of the power is centered here, is the bass. Now, I think that the bass on this is better. Hear me out. The bass on this is better. And there's a reason for that, because the bass on this is just more clearer. It's a more higher quality bass. It hits. It has very nice energy, and it has a nice deep impact. Not as much as this one, but it's just a more overall better. It's more toward a more quality bass with a quality hit and nice texture and detail when it does that. I think that the sub bass isn't as strong as this one, but I think that this is overall, both of these are extremely fun. And I'm going to put this one aside because we already did the review for this one. Bass. It's got a lot of bass. It's got some good points, got some not so good points. There are very few perfect IAMs out here. So anyway, treble extension on this is very good. Considering this is a bass focused kind of in-ear, the treble has really good air, a nice extension, just sparkle there. There's really good details. I think one of the things with this one that I like better is because it just surprisingly is just clean, and it has very good resolution, very low distortion for something that was tuned for bass-driven, bass head type thing. And it feels in the bass head. It's not quite a bass head, as more of a bass enthusiast who wants really good treble. Getting into the mid-range on this, I think one of the nice things about this is the mid-range is actually better than I thought it was going to be. You've got very good, clear vocals. They sound lush. They sound really, really natural. There's very low any scooping there when it comes to the mid-range that you would expect from something that had a lot of bass. And once again, bass. I'm saying bass, and the bass is very good. It's not overpowering with this, but it is prominent. It's probably somewhere in the borderlines of that quality bass and that bass head kind of tuning. Somewhere in the middle there. So it's not quite a bass head. It doesn't quite have the impact of the original one, but it does have some really good bass when we're talking about that. And anybody that enjoys bass is probably going to like this, unless you're like a diehard bass head. And they go I just need more bass. But you can always EQ it in it, So yeah, very good, clear mid-range. There's good separation there. I think that the upper mids on this are actually really, really good. There's clear detail there, so even female vocals sound really rich and have a good body and energy overall, depending on your equipment. Some equipment, it can sound a little thinner than others, but I mean, that's the equipment. That's not the in-ear's fault. Like I said, vocals are very, very good. There's no muffling there. There's no recession going on. If there is, it's so minute that I couldn't detect it on some of the things that I use. And I was using like the very neutral DS20 and just a bunch of different equipment like I use all the time. And the i-fi stuff, yeah, brings out a little bit more warmth with this. Still sounds really, really good. I think that the lift in the upper mids make it a little bit brighter in the upper mids. There's a mild warmth to the lower mids, making it very balanced. I mean, this is a very balanced kind of fun tuning in ear. I think that like I said, the treble on this, very, very good. That planar driver doing the treble is incredible. It may not be as crisp and as precise as, say, a balanced armature driver, but just overall, there are decent technicals with this as well. The soundstage is a decent width. It has a nice kind of depth to it. Maybe not as much as wide as it is, but imaging on this, very, very good. I would say it definitely is accurate for, just gaming in general. I wouldn't do professional gaming with this one, but it is accurate enough to do casual gaming and just, you can hear where things are coming from basic. Is it the best in the soundstage imaging that I've used? No, it's not even close to that. But remember, we're talking about a fun tuning. So you're basically getting a well-rounded experience when it comes to the punch audio. You're getting your bass fix. You're getting a decent treble fix. You're getting a very decent mid-range fix as well. And you're getting some decent technicals then in there. Overall, I would classify this as a fun sounding bass lovers in ear that doesn't disappoint in the technical. It's not a critical listening IM, but you're going to get a little more enjoyability and you're going to get a little more details than you were expecting out of this one. So this is just definitely yes for me. I'm torn between this and the Martello and my favorites now, because that one has some really deep bass and this one has some really good bass, and it delivers in the technical front too as well, with vocal, treble, everything being just perfectly balanced. Very good, very good. This is the Punch Audio Portazo. I was going to say Martello. One dynamic driver, 2 planar magnetics. Unique, beautiful looking, well made, and performs excellent. If you're looking for something that's in the enjoyable range, this would be the one. Thank you again for watching. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.